Bungie is giving Titans their own week in Destiny 2. They're also increasing the power cap, and we're getting an announcement for Frontiers. Let's jump into everything that's happening this week in Destiny. All right. Starting from the beginning, save the date. Next week, we have a dev insight dropping for us. So it's going to be an article like they had before. And in the upcoming weeks, we really meant it. So on Wednesday, September 25th, this article is going to be delivered by the Destiny 2 developers. And it's going to be focused on answering some questions about Frontiers. Patience is a virtue. For now, wait on the hub article. So more information about Frontiers. Hopefully some spicy news. We shall see. Then we have upcoming reward changes. Now let's talk about some of the changes coming with episode Revenant, which is launching on October 8th. We leave you in the incredibly capable hands of the Destiny 2 team. Economy team here with some updates focused on Nightfalls and Lost Sector rewards. First, the drop chances for non-adept weapons have been increased in Advanced, Expert, and Master Nightfalls when earning Platinum and Gold tier upon completion. With this change, non-adept Nightfall weapons are now guaranteed to drop when completing a Platinum run in a Master Nightfall. Wow, that's good. Right now it's been guaranteed if you do a Grandmaster, but now it's going to also extend into the Master Nightfalls, which is good. 50% chance to drop if it's a Gold completion. So keep that in mind. Kill those champions, get the Platinum. In addition, adept weapon drops from Grandmaster Nightfalls have been slightly increased when getting Gold completions, although Platinum remains the best course of action for earning them as completion guarantees a drop. Alright. Nightfall focusing, the Zavala's focus decoding has received a minor update in regard to Nightfall weapons. The weekly featured Nightfall weapon and the adept version of said weapon have been moved to a new featured category with updated costs. Weekly featured Nightfall weapon and Vanguard Engram, a Nightfall Cipher. Got it. Engram, 50k Glimmer, and Nightfall Ciphers. Now let's see the Lost Sector rewards, see what they're doing here. Finally, starting in Revenant, the Whirlpool weapons will be farmable in Lost Sectors the very season they are added to the game. Wow. Previously, players had to wait until the next season or episode launch to obtain them this way. Lost Sector weapon availability will continue to rotate daily with the available table below. The rotation for Revenant. This is nice. This is actually, will get some people into the Lost Sectors, especially if you want some of the new weapons that come out and you're trying to farm for some of those God rolls. We'll definitely bring you an updated God roll guide video for each of these weapons so you know which ones to grind for. Very cool. All right. Very nice, very nice. And we have a power band increasing next episode. Now, this is a little bit more of a controversial one because Bungie actually stopped increasing the power for a little while there, and a lot of people liked that initially, but overall it gave you less to do in Destiny. So now they're bringing it back. So I think they're trying to get people more engaged with Destiny, spend more time playing. But the problem with power band increases is that it's just monotonous grind. It's just make number go higher. And whatever level you're at right now you just have to go do all these pinnacle activities that you've done 1,000 times just to make your number go up to the new power band cap. I'm not particularly a big fan of that just because I've been playing for 10 years and been doing this for way too long. But let me know down in the comments what you think. Our power system experts take the room to share an update on power band increases in Revenant. With the final shape, we introduced a wonderful feature called Fireteam Power with the goal of making it so friends could always play together, no matter what their power levels are. We've been very happy with the Fireteam Power and how it's removed the power barrier that was previously preventing players of different engagement levels from playing together. With this improvement in place, we're revisiting some of our previous decisions that sought to achieve the same goal, namely power band increases. For the Lightfall expansion, increasing power caps by 10 each season provided new goals for endgame players to aspire to, and added value to completing pinnacle activities such as raids and dungeons. Yes, it did add value, but it's artificial value, Bungie. It's artificial. It's just you raised it for no reason. It's still the same weapon, still the same loot, the same armor. It's just you made the number higher. And I don't know. Let's see if what else they say. Fireteam Power will still be there, so friends can always play together, even if some players choose not to pursue the new power caps. So I guess that initially they removed the power cap increase to allow players to be able to play together, and now that they have Fireteam Power, they're thinking that they can lean more into Fireteam Power and keep the power cap increases. I get why it's like a trade-off in that way, but personally I'm a little bit exhausted with the power grind, and I think they should just keep it, just not have that be a part of the game. But so this is what it's going to increase to. So it's going to go, the pinnacle cap will be increased by 10 overall. So be mindful of that. Titans Week in Destiny, this is what I talked about initially. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by Titans Week. I think maybe they're giving them a buff. Really not just having a whole week dedicated for Titans. Last but not least, our sandbox team has a hefty update on abilities with a focus on Titans. But remember, all Guardians are perfect and equally loved, whether they wear shoulder pads the size of a stadium, owe you glimmer that you know is lost forever, or they lecture you about Vex portals on your way to Europa. Howdy folks, combat gameplay here with a preview of what to expect with the launch of Revenant. It's been a minute since our last article back in May, and since we have seen the launch of the prismatic subclasses, which seismically shifted the sandbox and of the landscape. From multiple Warlock buddies to Diamond Lances as far as the eye can see, we've been extremely pleased to watch players push Prismatic to its limits as they combine gameplay atoms in ways that weren't possible before the final shape. Now that the Prismatic subclasses have had time to settle, we're making some adjustments. We've collected a mixture of player feedback and game data about abilities across the sandbox, and we have a slew of ability changes coming from both Prismatic and non-Prismatic subclasses alike. We'll cover most of this season's ability changes in this write-up. You can read the full patch notes when Revenant launches. Got it. Titan class, identity reinforcement, super ability changes, general ability tuning. All right. Unbreakable will. What are they going to do to this? Titans are the bulwarks of their fire team. They live and die on the front line of battle, barking out orders while never backing down from an encounter. Titans wield defensive staples like barricade and stasis crystals with practice ease. They specialize in doling out life-saving buffs like Void Overshield and Woven Mail to their grateful fire teams, and they throw a mean right hook to boot, but Titans deserve a class identity that's more than the sum of its fists. Heard your cries for more depth to Titan gameplay and more viability in high-tier endgame content, and we agree with you. Titans have so much more to give than mere blunt force trauma. They're frontliners, damage mitigators, and battlefield commanders, and we don't want to take away from or replace what the Titan already has. Instead, we want to find non-destructive ways to add depth to the Titan's kit. These kinds of shifts take time, but we're starting down the road in Revenant. Alright, what's this? We're testing a change to barricades and other shields that would give the Titans a more traditional tank role. This is what I'm talking about. Titan Barricade now taunts enemies in front of the barricade. What does that mean, taunts? This taunt only occurs while there is a player standing behind the barricade. What, he does like an emote? This is a substantial change for Titans for Destiny. For the first time, Titan players can use their defense abilities to draw enemy fire, thereby shielding their fire team from harm. Titan's Unbreakable Shield and emotes, Sentinel Shield Guard, also taunt enemies, allowing you to become mobile aggro magnet. This change plays well. We're hoping to add this functionality to more of Titan's defensive abilities, such as Ward of Dawn in the future. What exactly does that mean, taunting? Someone's gonna have to explain this to me in the comments. While enemies will typically prioritize bringing down the barricade above all else, there are combat situations where combatants may have higher priorities than the barricade, such as a Vex Wyvern, the directive to march toward a conflux, or a Cabal Legionary desperately trying to bring down a Guardian in their super. The barricade taunt doesn't turn enemies into mindless zombies, and enemies who are on a mission may prioritize that mission over the barricade. But for the general rank and file enemies you see in activities from patrols to raids, this has been quite fun in our playtests. One important detail about this change is that combatants now shoot at the barricade itself instead of at guardians behind the barricade, making aiming at enemies from behind your barricade safer than before. Very interesting. So the aggro goes to the shield instead of you. We'll be monitoring this change closely, and you can expect tweaks in the future as we see how these changes play out in the live game. To support the Titan's new aggro lifestyle, we've made some adjustments to barricades and Unbreakable. Carrying Barricade and Rally Barricade, all subclasses, reduce non-boss combatant damage dealt by the barricade by 50%. Nice. Increase splash damage reduction from combatants for players behind the barricade from 20 to 60%. And barricades now grant moderate damage resistance versus combatants during cast animation. Nice. I already have a goofy idea in my head where I'm like, if the enemies are aggroed on the wall, why wouldn't you just pop the wall down and then pop a bubble around to keep it safe? Then all the enemies just shoot the wall and you just run around killing all the enemies, nothing shoots anymore. We got Unbreakable. Damage blocked by Unbreakable now generates grenade energy. Nice. Increased max duration the shield can be held. Forward movement speed now slows down briefly when the shield is shot. Reduce Unbreakable's throw attack damage versus players by 20%. Increased damage bleed through from players by 15%. Fully charged Unbreakable attacks will now one-shot barricades in PvP, except when barricade is now under the effects of part of Inmost Light. Got it. While we're here on Unbreakable Titans, we should mention Void Overshield. This is a staple to the Sentinel kit, and we think it could use a little help in PvE to better compete with the other damage mitigation options. Increase Void Overshield PvE damage resistance from 50 to 70%. And that makes the HP go from 90 to 150. Nice. Alright. Prismatic Titan will inherit all applicable changes to Barricade, Unbreakable, and Sentinel Shield. We're also buffing several other Titan abilities featured in the Prismatic Titan subclass. These changes are global, meaning that they're applicable to both the ability Standards, subclass, and Prismatic. We got Consecration, Torch and Slam Waves now shatter Stasis Crystals. Diamond Lance, Thrown or Slam Diamond Lances will now shatter Stasis Crystals. Slamming a Diamond Lance will now grant you and nearby allies 2 stacks of Frost Armor. Change the weapon tray HUD to display how many seconds are remaining before the Diamond Lance appears, like a Tangle. Knockout. Melee kills now cancel health and shield stun. In addition, healing allow you to immediately start regenerating. This is a revert of a previous nerf that had too much negative impact on PvE. Got it. Shiver Strike now attaches a stasis explosive to the target on impact. The detonation slows players and freezes combatants. It refunds 80% melee energy if you miss. Increased energy recharge rate by 12.5%. Immediately after landing a Shiver Strike attack, the attacker's melee ability is now suppressed for 0.5 seconds. Alright. Well, not specifically a Prismatic Titan only option. We know that the nerf most when Facet of Command's cooldown was moved to 11 seconds. We agree that 11 seconds feels too long. Facet of Command / Echo of Domineering goes from 11 to 4 seconds. Alright. Alas, the Titan buff train approaches its final destination. There's even more than that, wow. But at the same time, one of the pillars of Titan class identity is physical strength. So they punch harder than the other classes, right? Well, increasing the Titan's unpowered melee to be more powerful than a Hunter Warlock unpowered melee? Really? They're actually going to make a Titan's unpowered melee more powerful than Warlock and Hunter. We're also increasing the likelihood that the Titan's unpowered melee will stun enemy combatants. Titan unpowered melee increase the damage against players by 5%. Increase damage against PvE combatants by 20%. Increase stun multiplier. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. A huge Titan nerf. Very cool. Alright, we got unlimited power. Let me know what you think about that as Titan. Did I say Titan nerf? I meant Titan buff. I said nerf was a Freudian slip there. We want super abilities to feel like ultimate expression of Guardian's power, and we're dedicating some time in this release and in future releases to make sure we're delivering on that. They want supers to feel better and have better survivability, so Storm Trance. They're increasing the damage resistance. Chaos Reach, increasing the damage resistance. Okay, Nova Warp. They're increasing the PvE damage by 20%. That's actually very well deserved because Nova Warp is hot garbage in PvE. Hunter, Golden Gun, and Deadshot. Increasing the base, elite, and mini boss damage by 30%? No way. A Golden Gun buff? Spectral Blades, PvE damage by 20%? Wow. That actually might make Spectral Blades somehow good because I think that Spectral Blades can also debuff. So Spectral Blades has some potential. I know it sounds insane, but Spectral Blades in PvE might be a thing one day. Maybe soon. Glacial Quake. All of the Storm can be used while Glacial Quake is active. Twilight Arsenal. Thrown axe projectiles now more consistently track towards targets closer to the reticle. Increase Twilight Arsenal's axe relic damage by combatants by 23%. Thunder Crash. Increase base detonation damage by 33%. Nice. Fist of Havoc. Gets a buff to 58%. Change how the light attack works under the hood to improve consistency. Got it. And slightly increased light attack lunge range to target enemies more vertical. Got it. Alright. For Act 2 Revenant, we're investigating increasing roaming super uptime so they're more available when you need them. Stay tuned for that. Very nice. Space, Lightning, and Sharp Knives. For both Stormcallers and Prismatic Warlocks, we want to increase the usability of Lightning Surge. To support this, we're making 2 changes to it. Lightning Surge, the Warlock casting Lightning Surge now has 50% damage resistance versus Titan Barricades during the lunge. Wow. Casting Lightning Surge now also makes you amplified. Alright. Since the launch of the final shape, Prismatic Hunter has been both a highly used and highly effective subclass. According to our data, we've made some PvP-focused changes to Prismatic Hunter abilities during the past season, and we'll continue to monitor its PvP performance and make changes as necessary. In Revenant, we're making the following changes to Prismatic Hunter and other Hunter subclasses that feature these abilities. Hailfire Spike Prismatic Grenade, added projectile tracking and aim assist to increase consistency on hitting targets. Really? They have some tracking on that Spike Nade now? Threaded Spectre, increased detonation damage against PvE combatants by 33%. Storm Grenade. We have Storm Grenade submunitions are now easier for players to shoot down. Got it. On the PvE side of thing, Hunter's Combination Blow in particular has been a little too hot. We're making some changes. They rescaled the healing from a flat 80 HP per kill on stack account. No longer clears health and shield stuns on kill, and removed 1.5 second internal cooldown on healing. Okay. Wrapping up. That's all the combat gameplay team has to share today. We're hard at work on future releases, and we're more optimistic than ever about the future of Destiny and its sandbox. Very cool. The nerf Ace of Spades is in early access. Right, I'm sure you saw some of the drama about that. They actually gave credit to the artists that had apparently had some of their design taken from them for the nerf Ace of Spades, so mindful of that. And now we got Destiny's first art show here as well. Pretty cool. I like this. Very nice, very nice. And they have a few other art shows as well. There's one in like LA, I think New York and London. And the Bungie Foundation at TwitchCon and Bounty for Good. They're going to be in San Diego for this weekend. And they got this emblem as well. So be mindful of that. We covered that last week as well. And it all goes towards a good cause. 10 years of Orbit music. Nice. This video below covers a decade of Destiny Orbit music just for your enjoyment. Very nice. Cool. 10-year anniversary of Destiny. Skywatch increased enemy density. Got it. So that way you can get your legend title beat. Solstice Forge. Due to an issue, the Solstice Forge has remained in some players' inventories despite Solstice being over. They'll remove that soon. Got Artist of the Week. And then poor old Nezrak. World's first solo master Nezrak. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Alright, there it is. That is a wrap on this week in Destiny and Titans. About to be a Titan world. It's time to punch some stuff. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.